up? What up? What up? Welcome to Delay. Why did you laugh?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
I'm sorry. Let's try it again. Take two.
Yeah. All right. What up? What up? What up? Welcome to Delay a Game, episode 121. I'm your co-host Herman. Joining me on the panel tonight, we have Brian. Say what up, Brian.
Thank you for joining us.
And Mark. Say what up, Mark.
Good evening.
All right. Before we get started, I'd like to ask everyone to like, share, and subscribe. You can check us out on our YouTube channel. You can find us on Facebook at Delay of Game, our Twitter page, Delay of Game 3, and our Instagram page, the official Delay of Game. So, week, what was that, 14 is in the books?
Yep.
We had some good games, a couple of shockers here and there. We're going to get started with our news of the week, and I will kick that one off. I'm sorry, who's hosting? Mark is hosting tonight. That's right. Go ahead, Mark. Get us started.
Thank you for joining us. We're going to talk about the news, get us some hot topics, review our picks from last week, pick the picks for the next week's game, and then we're going to end it with our final thoughts. Since we're starting out with the news of the day, Herman, I'm going to throw it back to you.
All right. So Eagles defensive end Robert Quinn is slated to have his knee scoped this week, a league source confirmed to ESPN. And he was placed on injured reserve Tuesday, the team announced. Quinn went to the trainers following Thursday's practice because something in his knee didn't feel right, the source added. He appeared on the injury report Friday and was inactive for Sunday's game against the Titans. He'll miss at least the next 4 games, but will be eligible to come off of IR for the regular season finale against the New York Giants and could be available to play in the postseason.
All right. Thank you, Herman. Brian, take the next news story, please.
All right. And, speaking of the Eagles, 3 teams have a chance to clinch a playoff berth this weekend. Kansas City can win the AFC West with a win and a Chargers loss. The Vikings have a chance to win the NFC North with a win, or Herman's favorite, a tie. And then Philadelphia, they can just clinch a playoff berth with a win or a tie and a Niners and a Seahawks loss.
Cool. All right.
So
I'm
the
going
Eagles
to finish
rose
up.
a little more playoff berth, but looks like Kansas City and the Vikings have good chances of winning their divisions.
Yeah, it's coming down to the final race though. When in December get here, that's when you finally find the cream rise to the top. The last story we got is the Carolina Panthers waived Baker Mayfield Monday. Something interim coach Steve Wilks said was a mutual agreement between the two sides. The Los Angeles Rams have claimed the quarterback off waivers. The team announced Tuesday the Rams will inherit the remaining of $1.35 million on I'm about to say Mayfield's contract. I did not see that one coming, y'all. I didn't see him in the Rams. I thought maybe like the 49ers possibly, but
yeah,
not the Rams.
So too.
That was a
I mean,
surprise.
don't you think it is smart on the Rams' part, though, not to let the 49ers get him?
Well, I guess it is a chess move. You're right.
Yeah.
But, looking at the contract that Goff had under them, I was just surprised to see him take Baker. But they do get a pick if he does sign with somebody else. So I guess that may have made a point with them, taking that whole contract. But I didn't see that one coming.
They're not going anywhere, and they really don't have a starting quarterback on their roster right now. So why not kick the tires on them? But, like you said, Mark, it was mutual. Baker actually asked for the release.
No, he did.
Once he found out that he wasn't going to be starting anymore.
Yep.
Man, he has fallen. How he has fallen.
Yeah.
The number 1 overall draft pick has that's crazy.
Yeah, the dude that's making faces at coaches, ex-coaches, and all this other stuff, and now look where you're at.
Yeah. The saga will continue. We'll see what happens in that one. All right, so that take care of the news of the week. We now going to get into our hot topics. The first hot topic we have is, should the Green Bay Packers shut down Aaron Rodgers for the rest of the season and get Jordan Love much needed play time? So is it time to sit Rodgers and let Jordan Love get some love? Brian, I'll let you start this one off.
As much as I would love to see Aaron Rodgers with a baseball cap or a clipboard on the sidelines, I don't think it's a good idea. The team is new. The team has a lot of young players. It seems like Rodgers is finally getting a chord with his wide receivers. They're actually putting up some points, making it more competitive. He seems a little happier, especially after that Bears win. So I probably would continue to let him play. Now, depending also, too, on how bad these injuries are. I mean, we know he had the thumb injury. As long as that's healing well and there's no way he can damage it anymore, I see no reason to start that possible quarterback controversy if Love gets on the field and continues to do well. But the Green Bay Packers are eventually going to need to do something with him. I don't know if this is his, third or fourth year? So his fifth-year option is coming up. But, I mean, nobody's really seen him, so I don't know how many suitors are out there after him. But if I was in charge of the Green Bay Packers, I think I would continue with Rodgers. Again, try to continue with the development of my young receivers, get my running game going, and possibly use these games as a jumping rod or a launch for next year to, be more successful.
Herman, what you think?
Yeah, I disagree with you, Brian, on this one. I may agree. I maybe would agree if he was healthy. But he's got the thumb, he's got the ribs, and we know the Packers aren't going anywhere at this point. You need to see what you got in Jordan Love because, like you said, that fifth year option is coming up, and you need to know if you're going to invest that money in him if he is going to eventually take over for Aaron Rodgers whenever he does decide to stop holding the franchise hostage. So. You got to see what he has because maybe you can get some picks for him if you think about going that route too. So I think it's time to put Love in there and let him play. Let Aaron sit down and heal up and just give him a little bit of extra rest and get his body right for next year if that's the direction you're going to roll with him. So I would say sit Rodgers and let Love play.
Okay. I'm gonna probably say the Green Bay Packers are 5-8 right now. They got a slim chance of getting in there. They would need some of the teams in the NFC East to pretty much fall apart to slide in there. Correct? I'm gonna say as long as you have that opportunity window, I think you should keep Rodgers in there if you have the window. Now, if that window falls out and you're not in playoff contention, then yes, I would say put Love in there. So I'm kind of 50-50 with it. If they're in playoff contention, then yes, you ride with Brett Favre and the experience. But if you find yourself and you're completely out, then it's time to get Love some love. Let him get some reps in there. Get him ready because we don't know if this turns into another Brett Favre. I don't know what I'm going to do next year thing with Aaron Rodgers. We don't know that. So with that, if they're out of playoff contention, you can find out whether or not you can sustain that come next year when Rodgers decides if he wants to go write a book or play in a movie or do whatever he wants to do. You'll have Love there pretty much ready to go if this thing doesn't continue on for Rodgers. But who knows, man? I mean, Rodgers every year is like a different story with him, different idea he got. So we should see. So I'm kind of 50-50 with it.
And too, the other two questions you have to ask yourself is who on that staff is going to tell Aaron Rodgers he can't play?
The coach.
The head coach.
The head coach ain't going to tell him that.
Why not?
Aaron runs that team. Aaron proved that point when they signed that contract and let Devontae Adams go. And they all of a sudden they're catering to every whim that Aaron wants. Aaron runs that show. And B, what are you saying to the rest of your team when you drop your starting quarterback? Don't try hard. don't put in a good tape?
No,
What are you saying?
No.
if you ain't in
Hanged
playoff
up and we're
contention,
not a contention.
Yeah, but why is Aaron the
But then-
only one that doesn't have to go to practice?
you
that
might,
doesn't
you
have
might
to
play
do-
some of the other players too.
True.
It's not just him.
Yeah, but do you think that's really how they would go? They would just take the whole season? I
You
mean,
might-
not
at this
necessarily take,
point-
but
You can move up and get a draft and you got a high draft pick. You're not necessarily tanking, but you're improving your draft.
Here's the flip thing. You let Rodgers play, right?
Mhm.
You got the last game of the season. You got Rodgers in there, and he gets injured. What? And he's out for more time. What did I say then? He shouldn't have been. He shouldn't have been playing in a meaningless game.
You can't play the injury card because
But
Aaron Rodgers could hurt himself at home walking his dog.
Right. Okay,
So
but
I mean,
still.
there are players that's happened that too, Harmon. In the offseason, they've injured themselves.
That's that flukiness, though.
Right, but I mean, Aaron Rodgers, how long has he played?
That's all the more reason why to let him have extra time for his body to heal. He's in. I don't know how many seasons he's into now.
Probably like 12 or 13.
It's probably
about
more than
20.
that.
No, it's 20.
Now, he's not Tom Brady now.
Yeah.
It's
But I mean,
20.
that's all more reason I think to let him heal. I mean, you just it's not the Green Bay Rodgers, it's the Green Bay Packers.
Is it?
It's supposed to be, and that's part of the
I
problem.
like that. It's not. I like that, Herman. It's not the Green Bay
Is it?
Rodgers. It's the
Okay.
Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, that's part of the problem too. Is like you gotta stop letting this dude hold your team hostage.
They're already past that, Herman, when they signed that contract.
It's time
He's
to get
past
it back.
that. A year later,
It's time to
he's
get
doing
it
it
back.
their
They're
first
investing
year.
into him.
Better
They're
late than
investing.
never, right?
I guess. I mean, I don't totally disagree with you guys, but
All right, we should see. All right, we're moving on to the next hot topic we have. Will Baltimore losing Lamar Jackson for 1 to 3 weeks and the 49ers losing Jimmy Garoppolo 7 to 8 weeks, which teams do you believe will still win their divisions? The Ravens have the Steelers, the Browns, the Falcons, and the Steelers again, and the Bengals. The Niners have the Bucks, Seattle, Commanders, the Raiders, and the Cardinals.
You mean the
Which
Commodores.
team still comes up top?
you
right.
can't read, Mark.
Commodores.
It's not what it said.
What's that?
They have the 49ers.
What's the
have
team
Bucks,
after the Seahawks?
The
Commanders.
Commodores.
But he ain't here to stop us, so we run rush shot.
Right. Commodores, baby.
The Commodores. Herman, I'll let you start this one out. What do you think?
Well, looking at the schedule, the remaining schedule. First of all, I don't think that the Ravens, and this might not be a popular opinion for a couple of our fans. I don't think that the Ravens were going to win that division anyway because Cincinnati has gotten hot. But even more, looking at their schedule, they have to play 4 divisional games, and y'all beat up on each other in the NFC North, just like we do in the NFC East. So I'm going to actually, believe it or not, even though the 49ers are in a worse quarterback situation, I'm going to say that the 49ers were more likely to win their division because they have one of the and oh Lord, I hope Vince ain't watching. They have one of the top defenses in the league.
Oh,
God, that hurt to say. And they got tons of weapons on offense. I mean, all this quarterback has to do is not turn the ball over. And the 49ers actually should be fine. So out of those two teams, I'm going to go with the 49ers. And they have the easier schedule, too. I mean, they only have the next 2 games really are against, well, the Commodores are a winning team, but their next 2 games are the real opponents, the Bucks and the Seahawks. Once they get past that, they should roll over the Commodores, the Raiders, and the Cardinals. So I'm going to go with the 49ers.
Yeah, Herman, I'm gonna have to agree with you for a lot for what you said. Looking at the 49ers that have the Bucks and the Seahawks are probably their 2 top competition. The Commodores, the Raiders, and the Cardinals, I don't see them losing to those teams. The Ravens, on the other hand, you got the Steelers twice, you got the Browns, you got the Bengals. Those too many division opponents, and you don't have your top man Lamar. That's going to be a tough hill to travel. So yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on that one. I'm gonna take the 49ers for coming on the top and winning this division on this one.
And two, real quick, the Ravens, they don't dominate their divisional opponents with Lamar. So without him, it's just not a good look for them coming up. So.
All right, Brian, who do you have on this one?
Yeah, it's y'all make some good points. I mean, you look at the two quarterbacks that are taking their places. You got Huntley, who's a poor man's Lamar, and then you got Purdy, who just started his first game, and they let him throw the ball 39 times, which was kind of crazy. Especially with the 49ers running game, you would think they would have relied more on that. Although a lot of his passes weren't, 5 or 10 yards past the line of scrimmage, so maybe they're using it like the Patriots used to do back in the day. I look at the Ravens schedule. I mean, we all know that the Steelers aren't that good. The Browns are trying to get together. I mean, Deshaun Watson looked awful last week.
It's terrible.
So I mean, does he get that much better in 2 weeks? I don't know. The Browns do have a formidable running game, and they got a pretty good defense. So, but the Falcons, they're just a weird team. Again, all these games look beatable until you get to the Bengals. I don't see Huntley with enough firepower to beat the Bengals. So I'm going to agree with you guys. I think the 49ers have a better chance. They have more weapons on offense. The quarterback, he really, like I said, just needs to be a game monitor. Just don't cost him the game.
Yep.
You don't have to win it for me. Just don't cost it, So overall, they have a better chance. And, of course, they have the Commodores, which really puts it over the top. So I'm agree with you guys, and I'm also going to pick the 49ers to be able to stay on top of that division. And the Ravens will probably come in number 2.
All right. So that covers us on the hot topics. We're going to get into...
Somebody stop like typing on the thing.
That was somebody typing?
Somebody's in there. I can see their little green line.
I think that's I saw that too. That's not me. I don't know who's doing it.
That must be.
When we kept saying Commodores, I saw that pop up. So
yeah. I wonder if somebody woke up.
Well, he commented, so he must be watching.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we're going to get into our picks from last week.
Give me a second. Go ahead. Start.
You good?
Yeah, Fido came in. Hey, Fido.
We got the first game, the Buffalo Bills taking on the New England Patriots. And of course, I don't have that stat up. The Bills won it 24-10.
Excuse me, someone should be wearing something on their head.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Where is that thing? Okay. Excuse me.
I didn't know he took the Patriots. I forgot. I forgot. Was there another one?
Yeah, that's why I had to get mine. Mike, he got me. No, that's the wrong one, buddy. That's the wrong one.
Yes, that's the right one. All right, the stats for the particular game, we had Josh Allen, 22 for 33, 223 yards, 2 touchdowns. James Cook, 14 carries, 64 yards, no touchdowns. Stephon Diggs, 7 receptions for 92 yards and 1 touchdown. For New England, what happened to it? Sorry, my stats just zapped. Patriots, there we go. Okay, Matt Jones, 23 for 36, 195 yards, 1 touchdown. Ramon Stevenson, 10 carries for 54 yards. And then you had Marcus Jones, 2 receptions, 51 yards, 1 touchdown. And he was a defensive back. So this one, Herman, you started out. Who did you have in this game?
I had the Bills in this one. The Bills finally got a semblance of a running game going, and it wasn't just off of Josh Allen. And Josh Allen didn't turn the ball over. So when the Buffalo plays like this, they win games. Not I'm going to say easily, but they win games that don't have to come down to the last minute in the fourth quarter. So I took the Bills, and I got this one right.
Yeah, I also took the Bills, but it seemed to me like New England was fighting to keep some type of offensive power against them. They had trick plays, had a lot of trick plays. They had the play they threw to Marcus Jones that he scampered down. So they seem to try to keep up with the Buffalo, but they just couldn't. Buffalo defense was just all over Mac Jones in this game, and I thought that Buffalo, the big thing was Buffalo wasn't turning the ball over. That was another thing too. But I took Buffalo on this one, and they won it.
And real quick, the Patriots are going to continue to have
no. Real quick, you talked.
No, the Patriots going to. It's only three of us, so we can talk a little.
Exactly, I thought I was going to be quick.
No, the Patriots are going to continue to have these issues because they have a defensive coordinator running their offense. It doesn't make any sense at all. And I know we talked about this a little bit in the group chat, but you have a young quarterback who needs to be developed, and he's being developed by a defensive coordinator running an offense. That doesn't make any sense at all. They're not going to get better until they get a real offensive coordinator. I guess they just wait for Josh McDaniels to come back. He screwed up.
Which may be next year.
Yeah, next year, right? Because he screwed the Raiders up nicely.
All right, Brian, let's have it.
Thank you. Gosh. All right, you guys are right on this one. I picked the Patriots. The Bills hadn't looked that great the last couple of weeks, but apparently neither have the Patriots. The Bills dominated. Total yards 355 to 272. Time of possession 38 minutes and 8 seconds to 21 minutes and 52 seconds. The only thing the Patriots did win was the turnover battle, which was one fumble, and they did get 2 sacks. But the biggest thing, like Herman said, is the Bills are able to run the ball against that Patriots defense, 132 yards on 37 plays. The Bills look good, but they still need some work. So I picked the Patriots. I picked this one wrong.
Did you spit a hat for us, Brian?
I did spin the hat.
What made you pick the Patriots?
The divisional game. The last couple times they played, it was pretty close, especially like last year. You remember?
Yeah.
And Josh Allen just really hasn't been looking that good. And,
that's true. That's
the
true.
last couple games. So I thought that the Patriots may be, and they were playing in Foxborough.
Yeah.
Okay. I can see that.
All right, so we're going to move on to the next game. We have the New York Jets taking on the Minnesota Vikings. This game, the Vikings pull it out 27-22. The Jets passing 31 for 57, 369 yards, 2 interceptions, 0 touchdowns. Zonovan Knight rushing 15 carries, 90 yards. Lead receiver Garrett Wilson, 8 catches for 164 yards, no touchdowns. For the Vikings, you had Kirk Cousins, 21 for 35, 173 yards, 1 touchdown. Dalvin Cook, 20 carries for 86 yards, 1 touchdown. Justin Jefferson, 7 catches, 45 yards, 1 touchdown. On this particular game, I think I took.
You think?
It was a split, so
yeah.
2 of us picked the Jets, 2 of us picked the Vikings.
Yeah, I took the.
He don't remember.
Because I don't have the sheet in front of me. Thank you.
There we go.
But I took the Jets in this one. The Jets should have won this game, y'all. They were in. They had the chance to take the lead at the end of the game when he threw a pick at the end. But that drive,
no, they had it before that.
Yeah, they had it before that.
When he threw it to what's his name?
He dropped. Yeah,
Burrow. He dropped it in the end zone. Fourth thing, Burrows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what they say, but like I said, they had a chance to win this game, 2 times, not just one, just twice. But the Jets lost it, and I lost this also. Brian, who'd you have in this one?
Yeah, I was with you, Mark. I had the Jets in this one. They had 486 yards of total offense, but they turned the ball over twice. And they weren't really good on third down. They were 3 for 16. And then they went for it on fourth down 5 times. They only got it twice. The Vikings, on the other hand, all their possessions in the first half, and then the one, in the fourth quarter is what sealed the game. But they scored on all their possessions in the first half. So they had a nice lead. They basically held on for dear life. But like Mark said, the Jets had many opportunities to take this game. But the Vikings made the plays that they need to make, especially at the end with the INT.
Then Mark, you must have picked the Vikings because I picked the Jets too.
Okay.
And I know we split this because Marcus, I remember picked.
Well, no, he picked it wrong now because he should have remembered.
Well, yeah, I picked the Jets. I got this one wrong. I see the Jets did go down, like they were down 20-6 at one point, but Mike White can't drop back 57 times.
That's true. That's very true.
That's no way in that. You don't want Pat. Well, you might not want Patrick Mahomes, but
no quarterback really should be throwing the ball that many times.
That's what I'm saying. You don't want the top tier quarterbacks throwing 57 times, and you got Mike White, who was third string at one point, throwing 57 times. That's not going to work for the Jets. And the crazy thing is, the Jets had a decent run game going too.
Mm-hmm.
Zenovan Knight had 15 carries for 90 yards. So the Vikings, while they're 10-2, they're probably one of the easiest outs in the playoffs right now because they're just not playing that great right now. They're in a ball game every week now, that except for when Dallas blew them out. But I don't know if that makes them stronger in the playoffs because that means every week they're in a game, a real game, or if that makes them weaker in the playoffs because other teams are going to elevate their play, and I'm not sure that the Vikings will be able to elevate their play. So it's going to be interesting coming down the stretch with the Vikings, but I think the Jets got that wrong.
All right, so we're moving on to the next game. And of course, my tablet wants to mess up now.
Can't spin
it. We had the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. This was actually a good game.
Very good game.
Yeah. If you wonder why they didn't put this one on Sunday night.
I love to see my Cowboys in prime time, but
right.
That joint was hard to stay up.
Like, it was ugly.
So we were fighting to keep the eyelids open for this one.
Come on, Mark. Find the stats. Let's go.
You look so good in that hat, man.
Whatever. I can't believe I lone wolfed this. I'm so surprised Marcus didn't.
I don't know what you.
But you remember you were happy too. Wait.
Yeah, I remember. I went back and watched it after I got tagged on in the group. Yeah. I was like, wait a minute. Let me go look.
It's like, thank you guys for letting me lone wolf the Chiefs.
You want me to read the stats, man? I got them.
No, I got it. I got it right here, man. I got it. You good. Patrick Mahomes, 16 for 27, 23 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Leading rusher was Jerick McKinnon, 8 carries for 51 yards. Leading receiver was Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 2 receptions, 71 yards, no touchdowns. And the Bengals.
You really made fun.
You should go on ESPN. You can go and ESPN has all the stats.
Joe Burrow.
You better hope I don't host the next time.
Joe Burrows, 25 for 31, 286 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Samaje Perine, 21 carries, 106 yards, 0 touchdowns. Jamar Chase came back, 7 catches for 97 yards, 0 touchdowns. This one, I took the Kansas City Chiefs in this one. And And
What? No, you did not.
I'm sorry, I took the Bengals.
I should have just took my hat off.
You know, you should have. You should have. Make Mark
I
wear
took-
the hat.
I took the Bengals in this one, of course. Hey man, you believe Joe Burrow has Kansas City number?
3-0.
He has not lost to Kansas City yet. Big game for him, man. Big ups. And Cincinnati is doing exactly what they did last year to make their playoff run. So look out, Cincinnati's coming. But I took the Bengals. Brian.
All right, everybody, but Mike Cunningham, listen to what I gotta say. Okay,
Too late. That's
if
it
Mike
right
Cunningham is listening, cut him off. Hey man, the Bengals they came to play. It was no joke, man. 431 yards on 66 plays. The Chiefs had 349 yards on 54 plays, man. Both teams ran the ball well, man. The Bengals had 152 yards on 34 plays, and the Chiefs had 138 yards on 25 plays. The Bengals defense came to play too. They sacked Mahomes twice, and they made the Chiefs funnel the ball on one occasion. This was a really entertaining game. Jamar Chase set a fire on that offense. I mean, every time you turn around, that dude was catching it. They ran the ball really well, and I mean, they look like the team that was there last year that made that run to the Super Bowl, which is the main reason why they're probably going to win their division now and continue on. They're on fire, man. The Bengals got something going on. Y'all better be careful, but don't let Mike hear me say that. I picked the Bengals. I picked it right.
And Herman.
Well, obviously, I got this one wrong because I'm wearing the hat. But yeah, like you said, Brian, Jamar Chase coming back, that was huge for the Bengals. It was huge for my fantasy team too.
I meant to ask you that too.
Yeah, I did play him. So Burrow was hot, and the Chiefs just struggled. They did not look like the Chiefs in this game. It was ugly. Like I think Kelsey was that the first time he fumbled? Like in
Yes.
was it forever or like just the very first time he's fumbled? Like it was crazy. But the Pirine, he stepped in for Nixon, 21 carries, 106 yards rushing. I mean, the Bengals were just clicking on all cylinders, and they went into that game with the confidence that they knew they could beat Kansas City because they had already beat them twice before.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So big ups to the Bengals. Sorry, I doubted your team, Mike. You don't have to tag me on Facebook no more right when the game is Jeez. Yep, I picked the Bengals. I mean, I picked the Chiefs, and I got this one wrong.
But that was a really good game, and it could have went either way.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Kind of had a little playoff feel to it. So yeah.
Yeah, it did.
All right, moving on to the next game, we had the Washington Commodores taking on the New York Giants. In this game, you had the Tyler Heineke, 27 for 41, 275 yards, two touchdowns. Brian Robinson Jr., 21 carries, 96 yards. Terry McLaurin, 8 catches for 105 yards, 1 touchdown. For the Giants, we have what did you do?
ESPN.
Right.
It's just not changing over for me.
Yeah, that's because if you go to ESPN, they have both of them on the same page.
13 for 17, 197 yards, 2 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley, 35 carries, 152 yards, 1 touchdown. Darius Slayton, 3 catches for 95 yards, 1 touchdown. Well, it doesn't matter who we chose in this one. It's a damn tie.
Wait a minute, what stats were you reading just now?
Yeah, Barkley had 152 yards.
No, he did not.
I was about to say.
I don't know what stats you're reading, Mark, but Daniel Jones was 25 for 31, 200 yards, 1 touchdown.
How did it
He
change?
was sacked 4 times.
I swear to you, it just switched over.
Daniel Jones was the leading rusher, 12 carries for 71 yards.
Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones.
Okay.
Both as a combination rush for 100 yards. 12 carries for Daniel Jones, 71 yards. So Barkley had 18 carries for 63 yards.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't remember Barkley
Just
having
jump.
that good a game.
But this one I took the Commodores on it, and it doesn't matter because they tied the game. It don't matter for me. Brian, who did you have?
Yeah, man. I picked the Giants, but it doesn't matter because, like you said, they tied, man. The Commodores were 3 for 14 on third down. They were 1 for 1 on fourth down. But the Giants weren't much better. They were 4 for 13 on third down. Heineke was sacked 5 times. Jones was sacked 4 times. Both teams fumbled once. The only thing the Commodores did do is they did dominate time of possession. 41 minutes and 11 seconds to 28 minutes and 29 seconds. They also managed to outpass the Giants, and still tie. What was the purpose? I picked the Giants, and I didn't pick it wrong, but I didn't pick it right.
Herman?
Yeah, I picked the Giants in this one too. Crazy game. Let me tell you what this game came down to. The Commodores, they tied the game up, and I think it was might have been close to 2 minutes left in the game. The Giants get the ball back, and I believe they had all 3 of their timeouts. And what do they proceed to do? They passed the ball 3 times. 3 incompletions, and had to punt. You have Saquon Barkley, top rusher in the league. You have timeouts. And that's the play calling you do. And this is what's his name?
Dayball.
Yeah, Dayball, who he was the he's not an inexperienced play caller. He was the Buffalo's play caller last year.
Mm-hmm.
And he's way more experienced than that. And you got Daniel Jones, and he dropped back and threw deep balls like 3 times. All incompletions. That kept them from winning that game. If they had just went into a 2-minute drill, most of the time you run a little draw to see what happens. You run some type of play call, play short pass play to see if you can get a chunk of yards, and then you go from there. That was the worst play call I ever seen, just to go 3 deep balls and say, okay, that's it. Then you go to overtime and you tie the game and you don't get the win. So I put that on the Giants coaches in all honesty.
Yeah, and then they had another chance at the end of overtime. If they could have got 8 yards closer, they might have been able to kick a 50-yard field goal instead of a 58-yard field goal.
Yeah, so it's like they've already hit their cap. They've done way more than they were supposed to do this year, and now they've come back. They're coming back down to earth, and kind of the same thing with Washington. They went on this win streak, and now they're coming back down to earth. It's so funny because we talked about them both making all the teams from the NFC East making the playoffs. They could possibly neither one of them could make the playoffs. You got Seattle coming up behind them, and somebody else right there too. I can't think of who it is, but yeah, don't be surprised if Washington and the Giants don't make the playoffs. I won't be surprised at all. The whole playoff thing landscape could change. So keep an eye on that. But I picked the Giants and I got it wrong right. Wrong.
All right, so we got the last game of the week that we picking. The Saints.
No,
taking
we
on
have
two games.
Sunday night game,
We have
buddy.
2 games, sir.
Let me try that. And if you don't get the stats right, I got them.
Yeah.
This
game's gonna take a minute.
Y'all don't want to talk about this game. This game, this was snooze fest.
This will put your hand in your pocket game and relax.
Yeah, just relax. Let's talk about it.
All right, for the purpose of the show, the Indianapolis Colts played the Cowboys. Somehow the Cowboys got 54 points to Colts 19. The stats for the stupid game: Dak Prescott, 20 for 30, 170 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Tony Pollard, 12 carries, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb, 5 catches, 71 yards, 1 touchdown. And for the Colts, Matt Ryan, 21 for 37, 233 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Jonathan Taylor, 21 carries for 82 yards. Alex Pierce, 4 catches for 86 yards and 1 touchdown. I guess I'll go first. I took the Cowboys. This was probably the first game in a long time that I chose the Cowboys, and they won it.
You know,
They won
Right.
it. But you all totally dominated this game, especially in the second half. So that's it. You guys won it. Herman, who did you have?
Well, of course, I picked the Cowboys. We weren't going to go into this one as a letdown game, and it was a close game. We played the
them.
Yeah, we did. We played down to them. We was playing with our food for a little while, and then in the fourth quarter, we decided to try to set history and score 33 points. It's funny to me that these professional analysts, the way that Dallas wins a game, we beat the Colts 54-19, and it means nothing. But the best team in the NFL, the Eagles, beat them by 1 point and needed miracle plays to do it. But that was like a perseverance win. So whatever. Cowboys 54, Colts 19, 54 burger, baby. Let's go Cowboys.
Brian.
Yeah,
I got it right too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Look, the Cowboys won this game. They could have scored all the points in the fourth quarter and still won this game. Okay, like Herman said,
right.
33 points in the fourth quarter alone. 4 turnovers by the Colts. The Colts were 4-13 on third down, but they were 3 for 3 on fourth down. The Cowboys were 7 for 13 on third down and 1 for 1 on fourth. They also rushed for 220 yards on 34 plays. This game was close again to the third quarter. The Cowboys got up to a 2-touchdown lead, and then it was just how many times can the Cowboys score in a quarter? I mean, it was just like a video game. I mean, if this was Madden, I turned the game off. Nah. I said, this some BS. They cheating.
Somebody glitching.
Hey, Mike, if you watch it now, man, I had to quit this game before that score went like that. Shoot, I hate playing that. But dominating game. It was a game that the Cowboys needed to do. They did what they needed to do, and Herman's right. The Cowboys win. You heard Chris Collinsworth the whole time. They got tall receivers. Just throw it up and see what happens. Well, 4 turnovers is what happens when you just throw it up, okay?
Right.
So good win by the Cowboys. The Houston Texans are next, and we'll see how that goes.
All right, we'll get into the last game of the pick of the week. We have the New Orleans Saints taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady. They won it 17-16. Tampa Bay, Tom Brady, 36 for 54, 281 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Leonard Fournette, 10 carries for 49 yards, no touchdowns. Chris Godwin, 8 catches for 63 yards, 0 touchdowns. The Saints, Andy Dalton, 20 for 28, 229 yards, 1 touchdown. Mark Ingram, boy, he's been quiet all season. 7 carries for 27 yards, 0 touchdown. Rashid Shaheed, 4 catches, 75 yards, 0 touchdowns. The Bucs won this one. Brian, who did you have in this one?
In this one, I have the Saints. So I did pick this one wrong. I was really right for 4 quarters because the Bucs was down 16-3, but they proceeded 91 yards on 10 plays and scored a touchdown. Saints get the ball back, 3 plays for 7 yards, and they punted back to the Bucs. The Bucs then go 53 yards on 11 plays and score again to take the lead. And not only that, but they left the Saints about 3 seconds left on the clock. Good job, Saints defense. Y'all had this game gift wrapped. Tom Brady was going to retire after this game if y'all had beat him. But now he's still playing, and it's all y'all's fault. So I picked the Saints, and I'm not picking y'all ever again.
Yeah, I took the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on this one. You agree with me on this one?
Yeah, I think so. We split on this one too, I believe.
Yeah, Tom Brady finally looked like the old Tom Brady, especially on that last the ending drive. They they went downfield in Tom Brady fashion and scored the last minute touchdown to leave 3 seconds on there and not give the New Orleans any chance of coming down the field and doing the same thing to them. But Bucks are starting to put it together towards the end of the year in December. So I don't know. They might make a run after all. But I took the Bucks on this one, and I was right. Herman?
Yeah, I picked the Saints in this one too. Vince, you were asking about Kamara's stats. He was 12 for 26. That's the Saints have no run game. Mark Ingram 7 for 27 and Kamara 12 for 26. No run game at all. And I don't know. Has Andy Dalton really done enough that Jameis Winston can't get his job back?
No.
Maybe.
No.
I don't think so either. Maybe they need some type of spark or something. But yeah, this one, like you said, Brian, this one fell on the defense. The Saints had owned the Bucks up until that fourth quarter. Not just this game, but previously. So the Bucks are. I don't know that they're getting hot, but they're getting a little dangerous. And if Brady drops back 54 times, though, again, you don't want your quarterback doing that. Even Tom Brady, you don't want dropping back 54 times. So shut down their run game, put a little pressure up the middle. Should be able to beat the Bucks. But I picked the Saints in this one. And I got this one wrong.
All right, so that wraps it up for our picks for last week. How'd you guys do?
So are we counting the
I don't even
Commodores?
know how you count the tie. Yeah,
I think we should.
I got
that. So
that was 2 and something.
3. Yeah, I'm 3 and 2.
Had a
3
bad
and 2.
week. Had 2 and 3. Not counting the tie. I guess you could count the tie and say you got that correct, since it's technically a tie. Don't even get me started on the NFL and these daggone ties.
All right, well then I'm 3 and 2. We're counting the tie.
All right, so we'll get into the games for next week. Starting out with Thursday night game, you've got the 5 and 7 Raiders taking on the 3 and 9 Rams. How come this game hasn't been changed?
I don't know if they can flex Thursday night games.
Thursday nights, yeah. I don't think they can.
You see on this one here. I'll let you start it off, Brian. Who you got in this?
Hey man, Baker may start in this game, but the predictor has the Raiders winning 80%. No Donald, no Cup, no Stafford. That's a recipe for no wins, man. Give me the Raiders.
That dude didn't send us his picks, did he?
No.
I didn't see anything.
Nope. So he's going to be really quiet next week.
Hey, so this one,
matter of fact, he needs to post them in the group.
There you go.
Before the game, before tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm agree with you, Brian. I'm gonna have to take the Raiders in this one, man. The Rams are so beat up, and Sam Darnold. What's his name? Baker Mayfield hasn't been there long enough to really learn anything playbook. So no, I don't think they can throw him out there quite yet. But yeah, I'm taking the Raiders in this one all the way. Herman?
Yeah, give me the Raiders in this one. The Rams are just a dumpster fire at this point. Baker Mayfield is not going to make a difference. If anything, he's just going to he might throw more picks than the other guys just because he's so confident and thinks he can do whatever. So, yeah, give me the Raiders.
All right, the next Sunday game we got is the Philadelphia Eagles, the 11-1 Philadelphia Eagles, taking on the 7-4. Well, that should be a 7-4-1 Giants.
Yeah.
The Eagles are favored by 7 points on this one. I'm gonna start it off, man. I'm gonna still ride with the hot hand. I'm gonna take the Eagles in this one, y'all. Looking at how they played against the Commanders, they're gonna have to come with a better defensive performance to stop the Eagles. I think it'll be a close game, but I'm still taking the Eagles in this one. Herman, who do you have?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a close one. I agree, because divisional games, you can throw the records out the window. I'm going to go with the Eagles. Tempted to take the Giants because the Eagles can't they're not going to put up the same performance they gave against the Titans. They're just not going to do that. They don't do that. That's not that what the team they are. But I'm going to go with the Giants. I'm going to go with the Eagles. I'm shocked that the Eagles are actually only a 7-point favorite in this one too. That's almost a little disrespectful to them, in all honesty.
It's divisional.
It's divisional,
Yeah,
and the
that's
Giants
right.
are at home.
Yeah.
All right, Brian, who you got?
Yeah, the predictor is going with you guys. The Eagles at 74%. I'm with you too, Herman. I really, really, really want to pick the Giants. Like I said, when it's divisional games, you kind of throw it out the window. You know, last time the Eagles played a divisional opponent, they lost to the Commodores. But I'm with y'all. I think that the Eagles are flying high, and unfortunately, they'll get another dub.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next game. The New York Jets taking on the Bills. The Bills 9.5 points. I'm taking the Bills in. Brian.
Damn, Mark.
Brian.
You were on the same page, Mark, man. The predictor has the Bills Mafia at 82%. I'm going with you, man. I'm not playing with them Jets. They cost me last week. So I'm not messing with them no more. Give me the Bills at home.
Herman?
Yeah, Bills at home. Bills looked good. I do think this is going to be a close game, though. I think that the Jets are going to bounce back from last week. Again, divisional opponents. Throw them records out the window. And, you know, the Bills can easily have a bad game. Josh Allen can easily throw a couple picks because he's done it in the past and he's recently. I think he still leads the league in interceptions. So give me the Bills. I believe in them, but it's going to be a close one.
All right. The next game we have is the Cleveland Browns, 5-7 Cleveland Browns taking on the 8-4 Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals 6 points favored on this one. Herman, who do you have in this one?
The Bengals. Enough said.
Brian?
Yeah, the predictors with you, Herman. The Bengals are predicted to win 70% of the time. Deshaun, if you look better last week, I might have, pulled that trigger, but you looked awful. Man, give me the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going with you guys. I'm taking the Bengals. I don't think Deshaun is not ready for the Bengals can put on him. I'm taking the Bengals. All right, moving on to Sunday night's game. Got the 8-4 Miami Dolphins taking on the LA Chargers, the 6-6 LA Chargers. Brian, who you got in this one?
Yeah, the Dolphins are giving up 3 in this one, but the predictor actually has the Chargers winning at 56%. So it's a close game, but they got the Chargers winning. But I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Give me the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride with the Dolphins on this one too. I think Tua comes back. They bounce back fine and put on a performance out there. So I'm taking the Dolphins on this one. Herman?
Yeah, I thought I was going to lone wolf this one, but yeah, give me the Dolphins on this one. I agree. I think they're going to bounce back this week. Y'all know I was on the Dolphins bandwagon last year and they didn't do it, but now this year is the year. It looks like they might really do something. So give me the Dolphins. This ought to be a good one. It's a good Sunday night. I'm glad they didn't flex it. Did they flex into this one or flex out?
Yeah, I think they flexed into
this. They did flex into this one? Okay.
Yeah.
This ought to be a good one.
And now the last Monday night games, we got the New England Patriots 6-6 taking on the 4-8 Cardinals. I'm gonna let you start this one off, Herman. Who you got?
You know what? I'm gonna switch my pick. I'm gonna pick the Cardinals. They're coming off a bye week. They're at home, and the offensive coordinator for the Patriots is the defensive coordinator. So I'm going with the Cardinals.
It's tough for me. Both of these teams are bad at times, and they show you flashes when they want to be good at times. I'm going to take the Cardinals home. I'm going to home field. I'm taking the Cardinals on this one. Brian?
Yeah, you guys are with the predictor again, 64%, man, but Call of Duty is still out there. And he's still playing. That bye week boy, he spent every waking minute playing. So he didn't look at a book at all.
He didn't study the game plan.
Nothing. He studied that book on how to pick the right weapon. So I know, be honest with you, the Cardinals should win this game. But just to be dumb, I'm gonna go with the Patriots. So,
all right, that completes our picks for next week. We're gonna end it this week.
Before we end it, real quick, I just wanted to ask you guys just a really quick question, and then we're gonna get out of here. The Odell Beckham saga that's been going on right now with the little training, seeing the Bills, seeing the Cowboys, seeing the Giants. Not working out for any of the teams. Do you guys really think that he has an opportunity to make a difference to an NFL team this year?
Not after what I'm hearing that he's not going to be ready for another 5 weeks, possibly.
Right.
You needed him to come in now to work out the kinks so that it's
get acclimated with the team. Yeah,
exactly. You can't have him getting acclimated with the team in the playoffs. You just can't do that. Anybody, if anybody does it, if we do it, we're gonna pay the price for that. In my opinion.
I think talking to the doctors, and one of the things the doctor said, proceed with caution. Nah, I'm not taking him right now. I don't think he'd help a team right now. To be honest with you, he's not healthy. He's not 100%, and no. I don't see it.
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys. Like Herman said, all the reports that are coming up. Before I was a little anxious, a little excited. Jay Glazer had a report out real early in November that said, he was cleared. But everybody was like, well, what does cleared mean?
Right.
But cleared doesn't mean he's going to play. Cleared don't mean he's going to practice. Cleared doesn't mean he's going to help you win this year, which is what I think a lot of the teams were looking to do at this particular point. So, OBJ is more of a luxury to most of these teams right now. It's coming down to the wire where you kind of are what you are. So like Herman said, if he could have came in and the next week or two, maybe got acclimated and played, a couple games before the playoffs started, definitely, worth the squeeze because he's a very, talented young man. But 5 weeks in, I think I want to pass.
Yeah. All right. So now can we get
we can close now. We can close now.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, one thing. No, I'm just teasing.
Final thoughts for me. I really don't have a lot to say about it. Just that we get, we're going into the holiday seasons. Just remember your friends, your family. Show them love, and don't forget what the true meaning of Christmas is all about. And just be kind to your neighbor. That's all. Herman?
Well, throw to Brian because I got to go last.
Okay, Brian.
I want to piggyback off of what Mark said. The last 2 months, I had 2 ex-coworkers pass away. Way too early. Jeff, Bruce, you both will be missed dearly. Make sure you tell everybody that you love them because you never know what's going to happen. And especially with the holidays coming, keep them close and make sure that they know that they're loved. Herman.
All right, so
Herman.
I'm gonna go on.
Herman.
Yeah. Thanks,
Herman.
Mark.
Herman.
I'm gonna go on a different note.
Oh no, that's the one that keeps saying Herman until Mark stops saying Herman.
I want to say congratulations to LaShawn McCoy. I didn't think that I could possibly hate somebody more than I hate Stephen A. Smith's football. But LaShawn McCoy, congratulations. You have gained my hate. I've never seen such an asinine person on TV in my life. And it's actually an insult to all football fans that he is actually on TV spewing the crap that he spews. He's the most ignorant analyst I've ever seen in my life, point blank, period. So that's my final thought for this week. So LaShawn McCoy, Congratulations.
Ditto on that one. Ditto.
Before we go again, I'd like to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching this on our YouTube page, please subscribe. You can find us on Facebook, Delay of Game, Twitter at Delay of Game 3, and Instagram at the official Delay of Game.
Tune in. Don't forget to say, Herman, next week we will be a 4-man team again.
Yeah, we should be back to a 4-man team next week with all of our good graphics back and our sound effects, hopefully. So tune in next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. We are out. Peace.